Today I'm going to be dehydrating chives. First step, you just bear with me. I know there's a little bit of grass here and stuff, but first step is you're going to want to cut your chives. I just got just little kitchen scissors or one I used for there. And we're just going to go in towards the bottom and we're just going to chop it off. And there might be a little bit of grass in there. That's fine. Once I get in the house, I'll get this cleaned up. Right now I'm just doing the harvest, if you want to call it that. And what's great about this is they'll grow back. I already did this earlier this year.
Uncle Onion needed a haircut.
I already did this earlier this year, and then I even went back and kind of just weed whacked them all down once, and they've really filled in again, and it hasn't even been that long. But we got a couple really cold nights. I think upper 30s, maybe lower 40s. So I know the time to be harvesting this is coming up for the year. So I'm gonna try to get one more good batch in. And I'm just trimming them. Like I said, once I get in the house and I go to wash these, I'll get any of the grass that's in there, anything like that out.
Yeah, they really came back in heavy after you thinned one time.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Oh, spider web there. So I'm happy with what I got. I know what I have for my dehydrator. So I'm happy with this, and I think I got most of it. I think a lot of this here, there's chives in there, a lot of that's grass. I'll just weed whack that off again and then just try to keep up with it a little better. More so next year, I think we're going to start reaching some, I know it's on the end of August, but some freezing nights. I will catch up with you when I get in the kitchen and kind of show you how to clean this up and get them ready for the dehydrator. We're back in the house again. I just got my canner going, canning some chicken soup. You'll have to check that video out. But in the meantime, I just sorted through the chives. I picked out all the grass, and I just kind of want to show you some of these. We're getting that time of year. Like I said, it's getting cold out. We've actually been a little bit lack of rain. I'm just going to pull them tops off like that. We don't need those. We're good with that. So I already kind of went through and did that. We're just going to go ahead, and don't mind the couple dirty dishes in the sink here. We're just going to give these a good rinse. Doesn't need to be anything, I mean, we don't spray here. There's no chemicals on them. We're just going to give them a good rinse. And after that rinse, while preparing to get them on the dehydrator, I just got a bowl here. I just got a nice little kitchen scissors. And we're just going to kind of snip those into chive-sized pieces. Just like that. So, once I'm done with all this, the rest of them I'll catch up with you and I'll actually show you how to use the dehydrator and what settings you need to have it on for your chives. And I'll check back soon. So you can see, I got them washed, I got them chopped. Like I said, don't worry about the noise in the background. I know it's a little loud in here. I'm actually canning chicken soup. You'll have to check that video out. Anyway, so I got these washed and chopped. You can use a knife with them too. I just find it easy just to use the scissors. You have one that's set aside for kitchen use. There you go. So here's the dehydrator. I do have a lot more layers in this. But one thing is I only have 4 of these. And you're going to need that because you can't put your chives in there to dry. You're going to need this a little bit smaller holes so that they're not going to fall through. So you're going to have one of each of those when you do something like herbs like this. We're just going to kind of layer that on there. Kind of like that. And I got 4 layers here to do, so I'm going to go ahead and finish this off camera just so you don't have to sit here and watch me in silence while I play with my chives. And I'll get back to you and kind of let you know the setting that you need to have that on, roughly about how long it'll take. A couple of helpful hints right after I get these all stacked up and going. And I'll check in then. So, just getting the last of them on there. Might be a little thick, they'll dry out. A couple of helpful hints for you. We have 4 trays in here. When you have trays, the dehydrating part, it blows down through here and it circulates all throughout there and comes back up. So, you know, if you happen to be up and you want to check on them a little bit, you can rotate these around. I got 4 trays in there. So you might want to put like the bottom 2 on top and the top 2 on bottom. Not necessarily necessary, but it does kind of help even out that process so everything's circulating through there and everything's getting the same, that same consistency. I know some people be like, well, freeze-dried chives are better. That's all fine and dandy. Most people starting out can maybe afford one of these, a freeze dryer. Mike purchased a freeze dryer years ago, and he's still got a few payments left on that sucker. It's fun, it works great, but I want to be self-sustainable. I want to teach. Not everybody can go out and do that. People can save up and get something like this and actually be able to provide for themselves with this. This was actually the first thing that I started doing before canning. I used to do celery, onions, herbs. I've done pumpkin seeds. I've done all this on here. It was a good learning experience. I didn't have to worry about it. You know, a lot of people are afraid about pressure canners blowing up and stuff. I wasn't worried about that. So it was a good way for me to start. I did find out very soon after that it wasn't enough for me and I had to learn that pressure canner. Anyway, on to other stuff. So we got 4 layers here. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on. I'm going to turn it around this way just for a minute here so you can read what I can see. So we got that on there. You can even see right on here. There's tons of books out there, tons of guides on there. But you can see right here, herbs and spices should be here. Nuts and seeds. You got crafts. I guess I've never done crafts in here. Fruits and vegetables. Meats, fish, jerky. So you got to see that. So I got this turned all the way down to the bottom one. Now, this doesn't have an off switch. You plug it in or you unplug it. At least on mine, this is just what I was able to get. So maybe other ones have an off switch. Mine doesn't. I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. Doing a lot of canning and stuff. I know Mike at some point wants to put a plug in down here. Just doing a lot of canning. Got stuff going on. So I'm just going to set up right here today for this. Now, this should only take about a day, so it's not too bad. It's already going. Hard to hear with the canner going, but it's already going. You can hear it going. You just got it turned down. You can check it out, you know, every few hours, so let it go overnight. Maybe check it out in the morning. Should take about a day. Once that's done, I'll kind of show you, once this is done, what it looks like when the chives are dried enough for you to store. I used to use some type of a canning jar. You can use a baggie, anything like that. I just like a little canning jar. It's kind of nice and neat, and you're not smashing them up. But I will catch up with you as soon as these reach that point. I might catch up a little bit in between if I want to show you a little bit of jostling around or how it's looking along the way. At the end, I will definitely for sure catch up with you to show you what they look like when they're done, how I store them. And please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know if this is something you're interested in. Let me know if there's anything else out there that you would like to know. And I might know it, or I'll figure it out to bring it to you. And we'll go from there, and I will be checking in with you later. So it's been about 20 hours. I'm just going to go, like this one, like I said, doesn't have an off switch. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug it so they're not blowing around when I take the lid off. Checked them early today. They were doing really good. All I did is I took the bottom one, I just kind of rotated them. So the one that was on top went to the bottom, vice versa. So to see if they're done, you just kind of pick them up and they crumble. So they are done. So that's dehydrating chives. Like I said, this took about 20 hours. It's going to depend on the humidity in your home and all that stuff too. But about 20 hours, and I got 4 trays of these. There's one more under that if I had one more hand that I could show you all the trays. But this is a good start. Like I was talking about earlier, a lot of people, they prefer freeze-dried. Not everybody can go out and buy freeze-dried. They're very expensive. So this is definitely a good, easy way to start. You know, saving what you have and providing for your family. Like I said, this is how I started way back in the day, was with the dehydrator, and I still continue to do it. And I'm glad to share this with you. And if there's anything else, if you've got any questions on using a dehydrator, what you can, what you can't do, what works best, definitely let me know. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.